You're gonna be a part of a greater?
Oh, no, please. I like my individuality when it's not toxic.
Become part of the hive.
Alright, I have a fire spell, right? Let me take a look. Oh wait, I do have Sunbeam.
I can breathe fire.
Do you want to set the entire rosebush forest aflame if you're that chaotic?
Oh lord.
I can tell you without any doubt, I am not gonna be the one to start a forest fire. Smokey the bear has taught me too well.
Apparently, Valin hasn't learned from the first time she almost started a forest fire.
What if it's like a controlled fire where I keep it within the borders of something and it will not spread out past that? Like, can make a little hedge maze.
You're gonna piss off your god's former wife / mother.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. What we could do is pass through the sand of seas following the mushrooms and make our way up to Arin's grave and work down that way. Oh, but we did talk about Theron, so we could all
Arin's Grace is where you ended up when you went through the forest with the toxic spores. That entire forest with all the mushrooms on the left-hand side of it, that's the forest that has the spores in it. It runs that entire length. You'd have to swing further south into unknown territory.
Ooh. So we go south to go north.
Definitely something to think about after you take care of, your current problem you're dealing with. But in just a moment, I will get to recapping, and then we'll get rolling. Alright, so last we left off, the party had been traveling southwest from Titan Keep after stopping in at Neverreach, having to go to the Anchor to complete their mission. While in Neverreach, Anakur played a song to enrich the plant life in the region. If you look closely at the map, I drew little green dots all over the place to signify sprouts. Kind of gotta zoom in for that though. Anyway, y'all spent the night, rested up, and then headed down the trail to the southwest. After going down the slope, where all of the water from when things were frozen was sort of melting down, you found that the grass became huge, like oversized, as if you all had shrunk. You sort of felt like little bugs walking between blades of grass, and it got even more surreal as you spotted giant dragonflies in the distance. Somewhere off to the west, you could see the last bits of ice at the edge of the mountains and the edge of the world, as the light reflected off the snow in the air there, making a crazy candle effect. You continued down the path, trying to avoid big bugs, but upon arriving in the butterfly forest, surrounded by flowers of normal size and oversize, you spotted, I believe, is a moth person, someone that was somewhere between humanoid and moth, that noticed all of you as well and sort of dashed off into the forest away from you all. I believe you started following them, and upon reaching the edge of the clearing of the woods, you were able to spy the anchor, and on the other side of it, an old fortress that contained large clusters of kyphonic crystals that you could see poking out of the side and the top. From that fortress, or keep, you saw a trail of these like caterpillar people that were carrying crystals up the chain attached to the anchor and into the sky, assumably off to the tower and potentially other worlds from there. But you just watched them in a unified line all the way up the chain and out of sight. The moth that you were chasing after, I believe you had attempted to have a conversation with, and they told you needed to talk to the diplomat, that the diplomat was the one that could talk. They took you to a tent to the south of the keep, and you were led into a larger tent and put face to face with their diplomat, who was able to communicate pretty well with you. But after a bit of conversation, you caught on to the fact that these people are working with the Order of the Eyes, the organization that has been giving your group trouble since, well, pretty much your whole adventure. But as we left off, you sort of were at an impasse with this diplomat, as he didn't seem to want to budge on what he was doing, because in his eyes doing this was freeing his people, and he saw it as the only way to do that, as the only one to have freed himself from their hive mind. He wanted his whole species to be free. With that, we will pick up as you are all face to face with this guy in a tent, and there's sort of two, there's a moth guy and a butterfly guy in the doorway, sort of blocking your way out, and their diplomat guy is on one side of a desk, and the rest of you are on the other. It's middle afternoon, sort of, at the moment. So the light is sort of starting to hang lower in the sky. There's a fire started in the campsite nearby, and as you were led into this tent, you were sort of cut off from your ability to see anything that was going on outside as well. With that, I'm going to map change over to the tent, and we will get rolling. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that as you're sort of having this discussion with this guy, it sort of starts to rain a bit as well. not a heavy rain or anything. It's sort of like a sprinkle, but it is raining a little bit as well. It looks like we're just waiting for Onakur to load into that map.
You're 99%.
No sweat. I got confused because I'm not used to the new layout they've got on me now. I gotta get more familiar with everything. But I was like, did I move everybody or did I just move myself? Oh, nope, I moved everybody. It's just Onakur not loaded.
It's just internet be happening.
It do be happening.
Aha. We're in a tent in the rain.
My sound's being weird too. Anyway. So yeah, you all are on one side of the desk, and this diplomat is on the other. He's, despite sort of being in charge, he seems like he's like not much younger, but slightly younger than the guards that are looking over him.
Why do I have concentration up?
Probably something from last session. I didn't delete the chat, so...
I haven't used Aura of Life, though. When did that get capped? But
we were discussing about how we should handle this last time, and I guess maybe we pull those up to like give examples, like what we could do to manipulate.
Well, Aura of Life wouldn't have done anything. I don't know why.
I think...
don't remember.
I think it looks like potentially Valin has guidance up still, and I think I could just turn it off.
Yeah, I just deleted. I just got the concentration.
Yeah, if you scroll over it, it'll tell you what you're concentrating on too, which is nice.
Yeah, it was saying I was concentrating on Aura of Life, but I don't ever remember casting it.
Yeah, I think sometimes if you click it, it does it anyway. I don't know. Just remove it if you're not doing that. I trust y'all with it.
Yeah.
As long as we're not like double concentrating on things, which is pretty hard to do anymore. But yeah. Here's the diplomat.
You got games on your phone?
I'm curious.
Yeah, it'd be a lot cuter if he wasn't working with the enemy.
Right. I don't like the moral. I mean, I love it, but you know what I mean.
Pretty cute.
That just reminded me of a really stupid meme. Oh my god, I hate. Nope. Staying in there. I tried talking to this bug and he wasn't convinced. Not too sure what else.
He did say that if you all left and didn't interfere, that they would just let you leave. But just throwing options on the table.
Yeah, but that's literally turning your back on a drug operation that you are very much aware needs to stop, but you're just gonna be like, nah, I'm conflicted about this guy. He got given. I hate to break it to him, but it's a lie. Whatever promise was given to him is a lie, and his people are just going to be servants for the rest of their lives.
Anyway, to like hold him.
Any way you can what?
I have the spell hold person.
I mean, it works for what it says it does. If you'd all like, you can give me an insight check, and I can give you maybe some more information that you can glean on this guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to because, like, right now I've got that was removed from the hive mind, was given told that if his people worked, that they would be removed from the hive mind. There's no feasible way that we would know of to remove them from this hive mind, and that's the only thing that is going to convince this thing otherwise. And his whole thing is wanting to free his people, so he's going to blindly follow these orders just because he was told that's what would happen. It's at this point, my only point is to straight up lie. And then we're just going to have to deal with him later. Yeah, I'll roll an insight still just to...
Okay, there's a couple things that you catch pretty easy on occur. I will say, this guy, the robes that he's wearing, you've seen members of the Order of the Eyes before. The people that are like numbered members, because you know there's 16 leaders in that crew, and like they all wear robes like the one that this guy's wearing. So there's a damn good chance that this guy is not just helping the Order, but is one of their leaders, at least by technicality. I will say you are able to pick up as he's like moving around in his jittery, buggy way. You catch on that he has one of those Kyphon crystals like embedded in his forehead. And if the Order didn't have a way to free these guys from the hive mind in some way, this guy probably wouldn't be free from the hive mind because he said they were the ones that helped him.
All right. Yeah, I get that they have the ability. Like I can ascertain that they have the ability to remove from the hive mind. He is foolish in the fact that they would do it. That he's taking a villain at face value. That they're just gonna give your people freedom. That's great. Historically, how well has that worked? It's not I wasn't questioning their ability to do it because obviously he's free from the hive mind, but they're just dangling these shiny keys in front of him perpetually for the rest of time until he's dead because they're insects.
Just making sure it's established.
Yeah.
Intuiting from races that are similar, you'd guess these guys have like the lifespan of like a Gnoll or an Aarakocra.
Quick question. Oh wait, never mind. I'm sorry. I realized what I was gonna suggest, so it would take an hour to cast. Valin, she whispers under her breath to Anakar. Worst comes to worst, I can cast Gios, if you know what that is.
I mean, you did throw that spell up in the chat, and it's still there, so I can read. Once again, you place a magical command on a creature you can see within rage, forcing to carry out some service or refrain for something. If the creature can understand you and must succeed on wisdom, some charmed by you, it takes 5d10 day. That might come in handy just as a, I guess as a, if worse comes to worse type thing, but it's just the whole situational thing about it. It only will damage them once a day if they go against what you're doing or what you command them to do, but that definitely could be coming. But we're also, I mean, this person has a crystal lodged in their forehead. I'm not how susceptible to being charmed they're going to be because they might already be under some sort of effect of a charm because of the crystal. I have one other option, and I have no idea how well it will work, but one of the things for greater restoration is removing removing the hold of a cursed object or something. Like, I want to know if I would be able to flavor that to just purify the crystal in his head essentially and show that we would be a better option.
That sounds like a pretty good idea.
Okay. Here's what I can put on the table. Historically, Valin, you have run into one person before under the control of one of... Actually, I think two. Two people that were sort of under the control of these... three if you include Isgaroth. But, you know that the people that are strong enough to not be destroyed by these crystals, like the undead that you saw back in Zelk, that they sort of exert power over the crystal rather than vice versa. That it sort of enhances their power while slowly, like, consuming them in a way. Or at least that's sort of what you saw with Isgaroth, where at first it was just his finger, and then his, like, arm, and then his arm turned into a scythe, and but you can tell now that you're all sort of like looking at it, that he's obviously set it in his head, like it's like adorned, kind of like a decoration in his forehead, with like tattooing and stuff around it, or whatever the equivalent, like war paint or something that you could put on insect carapace. He's got it set in them there himself. From all of the caterpillar people that you've seen thus far, he's the only one that's like purple like this, and he's got like splotches of green here and there across him that sort of make it look like he's slowly turned purple over time. So like maybe he's using this, like the powers of this crystal in the same way that you saw like Isgaroth use it, or you would have seen Father Dath have used it when you confronted him in the Goblin Village.
Onaker, the crystal's not controlling him. He's using the crystal, but the crystal is taking something from him every time he uses it. He said it in like a whisper.
He's Onaku's going to use his message cantrip again and just communicate. Well, I can try and convince him one last time, and if it doesn't work, things might get spicy.
Right. Can Valin subtly tap Onaker somewhere where the Caterpillar Man won't notice, so she can cast guidance onto Onaker?
Give me a sleight of hand. And let me know what are you trying to do it in a specific way? Or are you
Sorry to interrupt someone.
No, I'm just sort of asking you how you're trying to touch it.
A quick tap by one of her fingers on a piece of armor.
So yeah, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand. Or a performance. You pick. Fucking... You've known Valin for a little while now, Onaker. Like, as Valin is casting guidance on you, and does guidance have... It does. It has a verbal element. You've heard her cast guidance before, and like, she's like the subtlest you've ever seen Valin be. Like, you're like, what the fuck is this? But you've got guidance now.
All right.
I just cast it on you. Let me, fuck. How does that thing work again on here?
Hover over the target and hit T.
I think I did it. Oh.
Or click on the target and hit T. There you go.
Hmm. I see you're a man of your people, and I can't wrong you for that. But what you're doing here is, how can a life that you lived before, even if you were in a hive mind, you didn't have your singularity, but you weren't tools. You weren't being used, and you're, I don't know if it's that crystal in your forehead or the whispers from these villains that's convinced you that this is the course of action that you need to take, but they've just fed you lies to sedate you and to keep you passive. They've given you a power that not many people can control, and they saw that you had the ability to control it, and they've given it to you to make you think that they are your only option. What I'm telling you is that all they're going to do is continue to use your people, long after you're dead. Long after you're just a carapace in the dust. You can't think that living a life outside of that isn't better than a life of servitude. Before, you were just a people. You did things of your own accord. Yes, you weren't yourselves, you weren't you, but what is you if you are just a tool and a weapon again, with a mind?
I've been no tool, though. Since the Order helped me, they've treated me as equal, and I've not seen them lie to me yet.
You say they don't treat you as a tool, but your people. You're using them as pack mules right now to take this corruption to other places, to other worlds. You're damning other places to this hell, just on the vague promise that you may be able to free your people. What happens when they can't do that? Yes, they can. They've shown you that they can free you. They've shown you that they can have you be free. But who's to say that they're going to keep their word? Who's to say that all of this isn't more veneer being put over your eyes to just blind you even further?
And you serve no one? He looks at Valen. That one bears the mark of a god.
Valen nods. That I do, but I know when I'm being manipulated, and that's only because I've had people that who will bring up to tell me and be honest with me that there is someone manipulating me. Oh.
He looks you up and down, looks across the group. It's hard to figure out where any of you come from. You seem like quite the gaggle. But I imagine at least one of you is from Zelk? He looks at...
Valen looks at him and said, I am, and I am speaking honestly.
Well, you've seen how they treat their people there. And I imagine this one is from either the south here, or from the desert to the east. And I'm sure Graveheart squawks up about the blue sand. All of your people, you know what the gods want you to know. You are the ones being manipulated. And with that, he's going to let off a spell.
Does Valen have time to... Does anyone have time to react?
Depends on what you're trying to do.
Would a bonus action count?
What is the bonus action?
Um,
Just tell me what you're trying to do, please.
bring out the spiritual weapon to defend themselves.
I will say that yes, you can pull out your spiritual weapon as a reaction.
Okay, give me a sec to find it. Okay.
Did anybody else want to do anything as a reaction? It's not often I get the surprise round on you.
You know, my only reactions that I have would involve them casting something that I could minus a roll from, and this is a saving throw, so that is not something I can do.
Shooting from, so I can place it in the correct place.
What was that?
Is the tentacle is shooting out from?
The big red square that just appeared. So it's underneath all of you. You can all see my big red square, right?
It was in my character sheet, so I couldn't see anything.
See it?
Yes.
I'm just going to lift my shield because that's the reaction I would have to something coming at me.
All right. And so I will say, yeah, you all get to make the dexterity saving throw. And just if you fail that, you get restrained.
Okay.
Is it a creature that starts its turn in the area is already restrained by the tentacles takes 3d. So you only take damage if you fail to get out and you like start your turn in that space after failing to get out.
Alright, so dexterity save.
There should be a thing to roll off of the cast in the chat. It's DC 16 dexterity saving throw. With that, everybody roll initiative.
Well, alrighty then. Man, our initiatives suck, guys.
Right?
Oh man, this is what does us in? Caterpillars? Fuck. Yeah, you did.
Damn. What? Okay,
I'm
this sounds
sorry,
really
I don't mean
powerful.
to be a bully tonight.
Oh
Hey.
no, I think this is great. We need something unexpected like this every once in a while.
I'm gonna learn the ramifications of ripping a crystal out of a caterpillar's skull while it's still alive.
I will say, the way this fight is balanced, you guys should win very easily. But the dice do
Don't
what the
say that out
You
loud!
should! You have them superior, like, you have such an advantage in this fight.
Look where our initiative is.
I understand, but you guys are all level 12, right?
Yes, the three of us are
Perchance.
Okay. You're fighting essentially 2 level 12s and a level 11. You have a huge advantage.
Wait, was I the only one who made that dexterity check?
Yes.
Oh my, how is the giant lizard the dexterous one right now? I recognize the spell being cast, that's why. I was like, I know a traitorous plot when I see one.
Lynn's gonna learn not to go into an enclosed space with enemies that want to talk without using detect magic.
Not gonna lie, Valin didn't say anything once that guy started piping up about, oh, you follow gods. I was like, yeah, he's too far gone. I was gonna hit him, but then Valin said something, so I was like, can't hit him. This could have been our advantage.
Refill my drink.
How many actions? Two extra attacks. You can attack 3 times instead of once. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Who are they attacking? Okay. Whew. Can I vicious mockery that?
You may. They only have scimitars, so don't worry too much.
Yeah, they have scimitars and multiple arms, multiple attacks. Don't worry about nothing.
Well, like, man dealt 6 damage.
6 damage 3 times is 18. Now, let's see, where is it? I need to find my reactions. Why can't I?
Oh, I also should have put him. He would have been here, not there.
There it is. Wait, no, not. No, it's cutting words, not vicious mockery. Where's my cutting words? Wrong thing. Ignore. Ignore.
They will avoid the tentacle pit.
Where in the world? There it is. Okay, and subtraction roll. -9. So 11.
Yeah, so he whiffs that one.
Be like, I got a can of Raid with your name on it.
That'll be his turn, and then the butterfly guy is gonna come up here.
Okay, that's what that. I thought that dice spinning thing was like me lagging or something, but no, that's just you controlling each individual actor that you control. Okay.
It should signify who is up in turn order.
Turn order. Okay. Yeah.
He's gonna come back here.
Alright, I'm back.
Lucky my reaction's gone, otherwise I'd cast Absorb Elements. Yeah. That'll do it.
So, he like swings his little buggy hand around in the air for a second, and then like points at Anakur as this like shard of ice forms and just slams into Anakur's shoulder, and then proceeds to explode. And then Anakur, Valin, and Mika all need to make a save, dexterity saving throw.
A normal one. Oh, no, sorry, I did something weird, sorry.
You need to make that constant. Well, that's too high of a DC, but you need to make a Constitution save, and it needs to hit 16. Wait, is it the damage number, or no? It's half the damage number, or 10, whichever is higher. So it's 10, DC 10.
Just roll normal con save.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, you made that, so you've still got your spell going.
And that spell was for my spiritual weapon.
Correct. So you get to keep your spiritual weapon up. Oh, I didn't realize my bug guy was in your space.
You just charged right in there.
We'll make it Graveheart's turn. Oh, I should probably have him use one of these. Bonus to the damage roll. Graveheart, wielding his Star Child flail, just swings ravagingly at this moth guy. But because he didn't get out of the tentacles, he will take a bit of damage. Oh, that wasn't right. And with that, Anakur, you are up.
Well, Anakur is going to hop his ass over this table. And then...
Should I pull a Brennan Lee Mulligan and go, make me an acrobatics check?
And be like Fabian, I'm gonna roll a 0 and face plant first out of school.
It's not a high table. It's... like...
Even worse, I'm tall. Low objects is gonna hit me in the shins, and I'm just gonna fall forward.
I think that you're fine. You're what, like 7 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hop up onto this. It's like a bunny hop for you.
Okay.
I was just saying, like,
And
in conjunction with your character size.
Yeah. And then... Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Does you make me very mad. I am gonna look at this robed caterpillar. I won't say I didn't give you a chance. And then I'm going to cast Phantasmal Killer at the 5th level. On the drone diplomat. Damn. Can I use my daily disadvantage?
Sure.
Okay. Let me... That'll do it.
Worth it.
Yes, there it is. I think it's my features, isn't it? Oh, there it is. Cool beans. Now let me roll this. So it takes... D10... 22 damage. And now he has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls for the duration and then he has to make a wisdom saving throw at the end of each of its turns. If it fails the save, it takes the damage again.
He's able to keep a hold of his tentacles, though.
That's just beautiful, isn't it? I am going to give a bardic to Mika. Let me see if I can. So, how do I target Mika? T, and then now I should just be able to go into my thing. I don't know if that gave her the inspiration, but it's in the chat now.
Got it.
Awesome. And with that, my last thing is I'll turn towards the rest of them and be like, "Get out of that tentacles before you make any attacks. You need to think about that." And then that'll end my turn.
Alright, Valin, show me what you got. You are currently trapped in tentacles, so I'm going to deal some damage to you.
And that would count as magic, right? Because I'm just looking at my freedom of movement spell.
I mean, it's definitely magic.
Berlin able to use her hand to like touch her other hand or some other part of her body that she can cast a action.
Come again? What did you just say?
I'm able to use my hand to get close enough to another part of Lynn's body so she can cast freedom of movement on herself with a
yes, you can cast freedom of movement on yourself.
Okay.
You just asked it in the weirdest way, is all.
Yeah, I realized I was like, okay, I should have worded that better.
Let's see. Reduce the spell speed. To automatically escape from non-magical restraints. Okay. You touch one object for the duration. The target's movement is unaffected by difficult terrain, and spells and other magical effects can neither reduce the target's speed nor... So does it work... So, like, if she's casting it now, does that mean that does it retroactively work?
I think it would, if along that same logic, because it would be similarly to the logic that if a barbarian, like how in Dimension 20, the barbarian was mind controlled, but then tricked the opponent into allowing him into a rage, which activated mindless rage, which broke the mind control because you can't be charmed while in a rage.
Okay. Yeah, I'll allow it. So you are no longer
It-
restrained, then, Valin. But that does...
Yeah, I would just consider it a little workaround.
Yeah. Eat up your action and your spell.
Alright then. The bonus action, can I use my spiritual weapon to attack the guy south?
Yep.
Okay.
You also have movement still, and might want to get the frig out of that.
Yeah. Lynn's gonna go 1, 5. Okay. Go here, here. Then here. He's taking some weird movements.
If you move through your spiritual weapon, you won't take an attack of opportunity. So, like, because you won't leave range of the one guy that's in combat next to you. So you're fine.
Where?
No, you're fine there. You're good to move there. That's a good place to be. But you were like, I'm gonna go up here and then here, just like strafe around the guy so you don't leave his combat range. Otherwise, you get an attack of opportunity against you.
Yeah, I'm like I guess I'm trying to go around my spiritual weapon to be behind
No,
him.
you just move through your spiritual weapon because you can share a space with your spiritual weapon. If you go up and around your spiritual weapon, you move out of that guy's space and then back into it, and he's gonna get an attack on you.
Okay, I'll move here then.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Just don't move weird. Move normal, strafe around the guy. I'm saying you can be where you want to be, just don't move weird. Move through your spiritual weapon.
Not around it.
Because, like, you were talking, like, I'm gonna move this way, right? You see my thing?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Do this. Because if you do this, it goes, like, you stay in range of this guy who's gonna make an attack on you as soon as you get here, otherwise. Because you'd leave his range. And anytime you leave the range of somebody who's in combat next to you, that is engaged in combat, you get an attack of opportunity on you.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, do what you say.
Yeah, you're good to be there. That's a good place to be because you give Graveheart advantage as long as he stays there. But there's give and take on that, you know?
Yeah. I did not mean to go round about.
It's okay. I'm just trying to make sure that you understand the rules so that you, like, sometimes it's fun to be silly, and that's fine, but, you know, I'm just trying to make sure you don't get hit by something you don't want to get hit by.
Thank you, hon.
Yep.
Okay. First action, she's gonna have her spiritual weapon attack the guy.
That was weird.
What the heck?
Yeah, I saw that too. Your concentration went away and then came back.
Yeah, I think I cast it twice. Could you fix that for me?
Yeah, it didn't use a resource, so you're good.
Okay. Alright, well, there you go.
You have Anakura as your target.
Oh my god, I'm making a bunch of silly mistakes tonight.
So 17 would not hit that guy.
Okay. That was my turn.
Alright, Mika, you are up, and you're going to take some damage off the bat. Whoa! Where did that 88 come from?
LOL. I was trying to.
There you go. Alright. Alright. So, you are currently restrained by the black tentacles squirming all around you. For the first time you start the turn here, you can make a dexterity saving throw, or no, you can make a strength or dexterity check to free yourself. So that would be a acrobatics or athletics.
I will do a dex, so I'll do acrobatics. Is it at a disadvantage or just normal?
Just normal. It just barely fails. As
You have a bardic.
Oh, yep, that's right. You do have a bardic. So with that bardic, it does succeed if you use that.
We'll keep.
Just automatically, because 16 was the DC.
It's just you don't need to roll it. It's a guaranteed at least one.
Okay.
But just for S's and G's. 5. You rolled a 20.
And with that, you are freed from the tentacles. I believe that consumes your action, but you still have a bonus action and movement.
How tall is the table?
I pictured it as being like you're probably like standing next to it, like your eyes are just going over it. Like it's low, but it's still a little taller than you because you're like 3 feet tall, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're just slightly taller than the table. Out of everybody jumping up on the table, you might be the one that I'm making an acrobatics check if you jump up there.
Well, I'm thinking about going underneath it.
You could probably pull that off pretty easy.
So, yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to crawl underneath it and get to the other side.
Yeah, so Mika just ducks her head and, like, runs underneath the table like a little kid. On Thanksgiving. Is that relatable or just my family?
No, that's relatable.
Relatable.
I've done that so many times when I was a kid. I used to annoy my family at like going out to eat too, because I would just crawl under the table under there too. I was a weird kid. Anyway.
My family used to do the like veggie tray, but they always had the black, like whole black olives in it. And I remember me and my cousin, we'd put them on our fingers and be like, E.T. fingers. Anyway.
I would do that with bugles and be witches' fingers.
Yeah, I did that too. Did you have a bonus action you wanted to do at all, or?
No, I'll just end my turn.
Sounds good. That will bring us back to the top then. Oh!
Would my cutting words do anything to that? At least not make it a critical?
I am gonna have to ask the internet on that one. So, from what I'm reading, cutting words is a modifier and not a reroll, so it cannot stop a crit.
Okay. Can't say I didn't try.
It was a very good idea, and I had to check. And, I mean, thankfully, it's a D6. So, these guys can't hit too hard. That critical hit of 8 damage.
Are you kidding me right now? Okay.
I'm gonna stop jinxing things. I'm gonna shut my damn mouth. I apologize. I apologize. Alright, DC 10 concentration, please, Valin. Should be right in chat for you. You can just click where it says
okay.
DC 10 concentration.
Oh, cool.
Ouch. So you do lose your spiritual weapon.
And how much damage do I take?
I already applied it for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thankfully, when I roll in this system, I can just apply the damage directly to your character sheets. It's less work for everybody. It's the beauty of the target system. This guy's got 54 seconds left on his spell. God damn. He is going to... Frickety frick frack. He is not that deep in the shit yet. What is he gonna do? He's gonna magic missile at Valin.
Oh, fuck.
At 4th level. Fuck do you mean 1d4? Say 1d4 plus 1. You create 3. Okay, so 3rd, 4th, so that'd be 5.
Who just used the magic? Wait, was that the diplomat's turn?
Yes.
Homeboy's got to make a wisdom saving throw or take damage.
Ah, thank you. I always appreciate reminders.
You're good. I was just making sure. I couldn't remember if I went after him or not, but I remember Graveheart had a better. What I like to see.
What's the DC on that?
DC 16.
Alright, well, roll your damage. Holy shit. Holy shit. Alright.
I love that icon.
Oh, just the smile? I don't know what his nightmare is, but he's being attacked by it. What, a giant bird? Is this ants? Or Bug's Life? Is he just afraid of giant bird?
And that was enough to make him fail his concentration, so he loses his tentacles, so Graveheart doesn't need to make that save. Okay. So, yeah, if you want me to roleplay it like I did before, he just, like, you watch him, like, grasp his head and go, no, I'm free, no!
Oh man, PTSD? That's not a nightmare, that's just... Oh god. Anakora is gonna have to deal with the ramifications of realizing that. gave a trauma victim trauma. He was giving us trauma. He was giving us trauma. My pain is abated.
Alright, and Graveheart now being in a very solid position, flanking with Valin, he is going to attack the guy between them. And as he swings his flail, the first one, like, the butterfly guy kind of, like, zips out of the way of, and then Graveheart just brings it back from the other direction and smashes it against the guy's fucking head, rattling him. And then that will make it you, Oniker.
Glue Galeo Frabjus Day. Well, that guy's having PTSD flashbacks. Let's see. We're breaking free, sorry. Let's see. Yeah, no, this won't do. I don't know whatever you're screaming about over there in the corner. By the end of this, I'm gonna be your worst nightmare. And then he's gonna cast Ramathan's Psychic Lance.
Jesus Christ. Can't have nightmares if you're dead.
Yep. It's a valid... So,
I will throw this out there at you. He is bloodied at the moment, so...
You know what? Actually, I'll go for the butterfly or the moth that's in between Valin and Graveheart, right. Braveheart, Mel Gibson. It haunts me. So that moth has to make an DC 16 intelligence saving throw.
Damn.
Alright,
it takes half as much damage.
Alright. So the creature takes half as much damage and isn't incapacitated. Cool. I like not being incapacitated, and I don't mind the damage.
Take 15 damage. It would have been 30 if that was a full blast.
I like that it allows me to click and do like half damage at the bottom too.
And then gonna yeah, that'll be. I'm going. Actually, I'm going to make. I don't want to give them an easy AOE target. And then I will end my turn.
Alright. Remind me, can I use my bonus action before my action?
Yep.
Alright. Valen just like gurgling out some blood and like spitting it on the floor, and then she cast the bonus action holy weapon onto her Arin's arm at 5th level. And then she's gonna try to take a real big swing at the moth who attacked her.
Okay. So if you hit with an attack, you get an extra 2d8 radiant damage on the hit. And from now on any of your turns, you can use a bonus action to dismiss it and create a huge burst of light. So, if you would like to hit the butterfly in between you and Graveheart, you will go ahead and make an attack at advantage.
No, not that.
There you go.
Advantage. And then there was radiant damage too.
Nope, you did not hit.
In addition, weapon attacks made with this deal an extra 2d8 radiant damage on. Oh wait, no, sorry.
On a hit, which means that you have to connect the hit. So, if you had hit with your sword and actually dealt the attack, then it would deal an extra 2d8. In addition to what your sword normally deals.
Mm-hmm.
Did you roll at advantage? Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah. 2d20, keep highest. So yeah, that's your action and your bonus action. And if you want, you can move still, but you don't want to move out of the range of this guy or he will get an attack at you. They have some pretty high AC. You, looking at these guys, the two butterfly guys are both wearing half plate armor.
Well, I'm just gonna stay here because yeah.
Alright, that makes it Mika's turn. If you are talking at all, Mika, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Weird. Okay. Well, I'm going to. I want to
Ah, okay.
shoot.
That definitely hits. Go figure the caster guy has the lowest AC. And as this little icy bolt sends from the end of Mika's bow, it rails into the diplomat right next to where his little crystal is in his head, and he slumps over on the bed as he falls unconscious.
And I do have a second turn, right?
You should have a second attack, yes. So you may use that against another one of the enemies if you like.
Alright, I'm going to target the one in between. Lynn and Graveheart there. And
that one does not connect. As your arrow
Okay.
sort of clangs off of his armor.
well, I guess that ends my turn then.
Alright. With Mika done, that brings us to Moth number 1, who is going to wiggle around behind Braveheart over here. As you watch the moth sort of strafe around behind Graveheart, trying to get an edge, he slashes at Graveheart, all three connecting, the first one critically so. And Graveheart is starting to look a little roughed up. other guy in between Graveheart and Valin is going to start making some attacks against Valin. Make that concentration, please. You're going to lose concentration on your spell. As the butterfly just swings the scimitar back and forth at Valin, the blade connecting twice against her. And you watch as the glow in Valin's sword dims. That brings us to Diplomat, who's going to have to make a death save. And then that brings us to Graveheart, who is going to...
Did my phantasmal killer stop? That he's unconscious, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So your concentration is freed up again. And Graveheart will start swinging against the guy between him and Valin. You are back up.
Ugh. Alright, well...
Also, Valin is currently bloodied.
Decisions. Go. I target the moth all the way at the other end, and has to make a DC 16 intelligence saving throw.
Good call. These boys aren't very bright.
Alright, so it takes full damage and incapacitated. I liked 30 before. 30 was better. I'll take... And so it takes 18 and is incapacitated. Bonus action, give a bardic to Graveheart.
Alrighty. Is that it for you then?
Yep.
Alright, Valin, you are up.
How bloody her and Graveheart are. She made decided like fuck it, and she like claps her hands together and the mass uses mass cure wounds at 6th level. And I guess that could be for like everybody else too. Can have how many people?
Up to 6, so you can hit everybody with that.
Yep, everybody gets 27. Alright. How's the guy looking in front of her again?
He's not looking terrible. He's got a few cuts on him. Did you... Okay, make sure you apply your healing.
Yeah, not Valin's gonna use this chance to move. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't move. You get an attack of opportunity against you, but you can do it if you want, if you think it's going to be your best option.
Oh, Valin, like, she just looks over to Anakur and Mika, and she's like, I really would like to move, but I'm not gonna let my friends get attacked, and so she just stands there and like sinks her feet into the ground to like hold firm.
You are currently the hardest person to hit of your party, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
You are harder to hit than Graveheart.
Oh, fuck. Okay. But yeah, now end my turn.
Okie dokie. With that, Mika's up.
I'm gonna use my bow again.
Very nice. And that's against the butterfly, right?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me that second one. Oof, that one doesn't hit, sadly.
Alright, I guess that ends my turn.
I think you've hit him twice, so he's got like 2 arrows sticking out of the side of him, coming in Mika's direction. After Mika, that will make it the Moth Guy. Moth Guy is incapacitated. What is incapacitated? An incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions. So he just kind of like spazzes out, twitching on the floor. Like
It sees the lamp.
he's been through the bug zapper. Butterfly guy is gonna be a little concerned about the fact that his friend is incapacitated now and make some attacks against Graveheart while he can still do stuff. As he like turns around mildly frightened and like starts flailing his scimitar wildly at Graveheart, yet effectively, as he slashes Graveheart 3 times, 1 time critically. The Diplomat makes his 2nd death save.
One fail, one success.
Graveheart goes on the attack against the guy that attacked him. Or them. And
He is a bardic. Yep. You can click up in the chat a bit.
that doesn't make it enough to hit. Or wait, no, it does. That's 20. Okay. So he, like, thinks back to Anakur cheering him on and is able to get one of his attacks to finally hit. And that will bring us to Anakur.
Hold on. Boy in the back is incapacitated. Time for me to get the spell in me. Well, turn around and he's in right now.
And I'd imagine if you can knock the one guy out, you could probably pretty easily coup de grace the other guy.
Yeah. Well, this is where I have a little bit of a problem, because I don't want to use another 4th level spell and be out of 4th level spell. And I don't have any damaging spells that are below 4th level. That would really be feasible. I could just shoot him.
I was gonna say, you do have a bow.
Yeah, but they have a high AC, and I'm gonna just no. I'm not gonna double click on myself. I'm gonna put myself at an angle that I can not be shooting through the limb, and then yeah, I'll make an attack with my meteor bow.
It was worth a shot.
I wouldn't have advantage, would I?
No, sadly.
Yeah.
If anything, I think you might have disadvantage because of where you're shooting from. Because, like,
What?
you're too close.
I thought it was only within like 10 feet. I'm 20 feet away.
Range attack has disadvantage. Okay, yeah. No, you're fine.
I guess as a bonus, I'll give my last inspiration to Graveheart. And then that'll be the end of my turn.
Alright, Valin, you're up.
See, come to me, my friends of Titan, as she casts like spirit guardians.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, fuck it, do it that way.
That wasn't right. What the frick?
Do it give off now that William's got a Titan in the orange?
They they look like the image that you saw in the stained glass at the Titan Keep. Craggy, rocky spirits that flit and float around in a spiral fashion, in a circular motion around Valin, whizzing in between each other in both directions, clockwise and counterclockwise, as they sort of slam into, like, headbutting the enemies. And 15 emanation and a good neutral. This is if you're evil, they'll continue. The creature's speed is halved with. The creature must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage or 3d8 necrotic damage, which will be radiant for you.
And I cast it at 5th level, so based on the thing, it's saying using a higher level spell slot. Okay, let's see, how do I do it? Okay.
That didn't do anything. What's, so it's 3d8 plus 1d8 for each level above 3. You said at 5th? You cast it at 5th level? Yeah, okay. So you will deal 5d8 radiant damage.
I need to place the spell on the map so I can do the attack, or
No, just roll 5d8.
Okay. What?
And what's your DC? 16. So neither of them made it, so they both take that 11.
Good. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Alright, that brings us to Mika.
Well, noticing that he's bloodied, I will shoot him again.
So close, but that's a miss.
Dang it.
But that one's not. You roll that critical damage. Y'all watch Mika line up a shot that clangs off of its armor, and then the second one comes down and just whoosh, right in his like the side of his face, and he is like wincing hard. Anything else for Mika?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, you could always just stop trying to hurt my friends and stop this nonsense. And then with that, I'll end my turn.
Okay, on the incapacitation, do they make a save on that every turn, or are they just incapacitated until the spell ends?
Oh, that's a good question. Sorry, 1 second. I'm scrolling back up to find my spell. Okay, so it's on a failed save, the target takes and is incapacitated. Oh, it was only until the start of my next turn, so they're good now.
Okay, cool. He's gonna stand up and start attacking Graveheart.
Does Braveheart not have any resistances or anything? Okay. I mean, I guess that's good.
And believe it or not, Graveheart is still not bloodied. But that will be Mothman's turn. After taking that hit from Mika, Butterfly Guy looks back at her, looks at the situation that he's in, and he's going to try to fly off. So Graveheart and Valen both get an attack of opportunity against him at advantage.
Oh, when it comes to our turn? Okay.
It's just a weapon attack.
Arin's arm at advantage.
Please, please.
Then,
Yikers.
Dang! No, I am not hitting anything today.
it's because you asked. But you you see this guy fly out of the front of the tent and up into the sky. Oh, but Valin, because both of their turns came through and they started in your thing. Go ahead and roll your damage again for your spirits. 5d8. See,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was better. So yeah, he flies out the front of the tent and 35 feet into the air, as he has a fly speed of 50. And Mothman is now bloodied after Valin's spirits batter him. That will make it the Diplomat's turn, who has to make another save. One more save and the Diplomat stabilizes. That will bring us to Graveheart, who I'm assuming is just going to fly 15 feet this way and then 35 feet into the air after this guy.
Is that going to get him attacked?
So yeah, Graveheart flies out after this guy, and you just hear "tung" as fucking his flail beams this dude in the head, and this guy falls to the earth, and the fall kills him.
Yes!
Appreciate this outfit.
Immersion.
And Anakur, you are up.
Huh. Huh. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna make a shooty shot at it. I'm gonna shoot the Mothman. Mothman, and normal. God, you know what? It's okay. I hit good with this weapon once, that's all I need. I have spell. What am I doing?
You hit the one time when it thematically mattered the most.
And now I just look at this and be like, you're lucky I love you. You're lucky I love this instrument.
You're lucky, bunnies.
As a bonus action, I'm gonna make lizard noises and end my turn.
Alrighty.
Oh.
With the lizardy that brings us to Valen.
Alright, which one is looking worse off?
Well, 2 out of 3 of them are dead. The moth guy to your right is the only one that's still, like, up and kicking.
Alright. What Valena's gonna do, she's gonna... Well, let me... Yeah, she's just gonna unsheath her sword and take the run at the last Mothman. Wait, what? It's saying I can't. You can't use it. What the?
Can't use
Wait,
it.
what? I didn't use any charge. What the fuck?
There should be a thing that you check that says use charge. When you go to use it, just uncheck it when you're using it for an attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have to do that with my bow.
Yeah, the other thing you can do is you can just click it in your inventory and it should pop up in chat or show in chat, and then you can roll from there. But that means you probably used up your 2 charges on it without using the spell on it, so I'll give you your charges back. Also, you need to move your character so that you're in attacking range. But that attack misses.
I'm gonna look at Valen, we're gonna make direct eye contact, and I'm gonna mentally for the lack of being able to hit. We're on it. We got this, guys.
Alright, you got your 2 charges back on your weapon now. Did you want to do anything with your bonus action? No. Well, I'm not hearing anything from Valen, so we're gonna move on to Mika.
Sorry, I'm just looking at my spells and like I am skimming over everything and I can't see a bonus action and
Okay. No worries.
and I don't remember what I can do for my bonus action. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
I'm gonna move up close. Stab him.
Shake that food. That'll hit.
Oh, I did forget to take into account for the radiant damage.
You lost concentration on that.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Your concentration that you have right now is on your spirit guardians. But your spirit guardians will hit him when his turn comes around, so there's that.
Okay. Oh, wait.
And then Mika, you got a second attack, right?
Yes.
That one doesn't hit, as it sort of goes like, ah, what? And like dodges the second one. Like it didn't expect to see a little mouse person come out of right field. Anything else for Mika?
I'm gonna look at him, squint, and say, "You're dead."
Probably if Valen rolls high enough. Alright, Valen, go ahead and roll your, what is it, 5d8 or 5d10? She clearly knew. 25.
He like just glared at the Mothman. My attacks may not be hitting you, but my spells definitely are.
Yeah, he's gonna take the full force of that. As he just looks like he's on his last leg now. He's gonna look at the two ladies next to him, and he's gonna look at his friend's dead body, and he's going to go for the hive. He's going to continue to attack Valen.
You can fucking try.
That one will hit you. And then roll that concentration to keep your guardians. You kept your guardians, and you get hit one more time. And one more concentration check from you. Nice. Alright, yeah, he starts slashing at you, like, just violently, as if he's in some sort of rage. And two of his attacks connect with your flesh. And that brings us to the dying diplomat, who will make a death save. Because the other guy is dead after his tumble. And the diplomat stabilizes. Graveheart is going to come back in and land. And on occur.
Here's the church, here's the steeple, hold the doors, and here's an arrow. You'll take another shot.
Not everybody's a bow person.
No, I can see it.
Anything else? Bonus action?
Is crying a bonus action?
Crying is a free action.
Oh, damn. Well, alright, my turn.
Alright.
Actually, before I do, I will move towards... I'm gonna move towards the diplomat.
Okie dokie. Valin, you is up. Valin? Valin?
Sorry, I was like... Okay. You're
It's-
radiant?
No, it's your turn.
Oh.
I'd have just done your stuff for you, but... This guy's almost dead. I didn't want to take away anyone's moment.
Yeah, I'll just attack again.
Alright. Oh, just barely.
Ah!
You were one point away from hitting him. If that's all for Valin, then we are on to Mika.
Yep, that's all.
That's a hit. He like coughs up some blood as your like blade catches between his armor and like stabs him in the chest, but he's still standing. Oh, but that does it. How do you want to do this?
I'm gonna stab him through his face, right through that opening in his.
Yeah,
Oh.
so like you get him with that attack I described just a second ago, like in between the bottom of his like chest piece and like his rib, and like he like leans over as he's coughing up the blood, and you just like look up at him and you hold up your knife and it goes like right in where his throat would be if he were like a normal human. And like his little buggy eyes, like they can't widen, but you know if they could, they would be, as he just like looks at you and then like falls to the ground in front of you. And with that, you are all out of combat.
For the win.
I'm gonna.
Anakura is gonna go over to the still breathing but unconscious caterpillar in the corner. We have a guest who hasn't left the party yet fully. I'm not one for murdering someone while they're asleep, but I also think at the very least we should remove this crystal from his head.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Valen said as she like just collapses on the ground and starts like just staring at the dead bug in front of her with a scowl.
Is it safe to just take out of there, or do we need like to pry it out?
I have a idea. I was running this idea earlier about trying to use Greater Restoration, but I think I could use Greater Restoration to remove its attunement to him, so it would take the powers that it gave him away, and then we could remove the crystal. That's my thought process.
Do you want me to cast whole person on him? So that way it'll be easier for you to remove it?
I don't think that would be necessary, because he may be alive, but he's still rough. I mean, if I was using the terms of like a game that you play with your friends, he's on 1 AP. You know what I mean? He's not very much gonna be a problem for us, so I don't think hold person. You might want to just save your spells.
He's actually at 0 HP, he's just stabilized.
You know, if this was a tabletop role-playing game that you play with your friends every now and then, they would be on 0.
Yeah, so if you gave him any healing, that would bring him above that 0 threshold, which would bring him back to consciousness most likely.
I want to try my plan if I can.
Didn't sound like anybody in the party had any complaints about your plan.
No, go
I was
for
just
it.
gonna stab his head with an arrow and try to pry it out that way, but I think yours is better.
I love your enthusiasm. Save that in case mine doesn't work. and I'm. Would it be better for me to cast this at a higher level? I don't know what casting this at a higher level really does for me.
I'm not sure with Greater Restoration.
Well, it might just be like I can upcast it just in order to cast it if I don't have a 5th level slot, because it doesn't have any. It's just a removal type thing, so it's not on a. There's no
might
higher dice roll. But yeah, I have the spell slot, so it doesn't matter. I don't need to upcast it, but that diamond dust that I specifically searched for in that last place.
So Onakur like puts his hand on this like unconscious caterpillar man, and like as you pulse Greater Restoration into him, you watch as like the purple inkiness sort of like recedes, like it all like comes together like where your hand is like casting the Greater Restoration, and like you pull your hand away from it, and like there's like purpley dust on your hand, and you sort of like shake it, and like the magic like dissipates like almost like an aerosol, like it's gone. But he returns to his like green color as like tendrils of purpley like junk start emanating across his skin outward from the gem in his head.
I will then take the gem and try to remove it.
Alright, I'm going to need 2 things from you on this. One is a Constitution save, and the second is a sleight of hand.
Ugh. Do. There's con. Okay. Whew. I don't have guidance, right?
No. Alright. So, as you put your hand on this purple crystal, it feels like a bunch of syringes like pierce out from the crystal into your hand, and you attempt to like hold on to pull the thing off, but you can't hold on to it. Like you instinctually pull your hand back from the damage as it pierces you for 9 damage.
It porcupined you.
Can I cast Mage Hand and have the Mage Hand try to grab it?
Let me just double check Mage Hand real quick.
Lena's gonna get up and walk over to Onakur and Mika.
Yeah, I think you can use Mage Hand for this because it can lift things that are less than 10 pounds. That being said, I don't think that it takes a medicine check to tell that if you just use your Mage Hand to like rip this thing out carelessly, it might kill him. So I'm trying to wonder how to run this. Like, does the hand just mimic your hand?
Yeah, it mimics my movements. I can have it.
So you'll
I can give it a
still
command.
You'll still make the sleight of hand check, but you won't have to make the Constitution check if you use Mage Hand. Because I feel like that's kind of what that's for. That and, like, reaching stuff, you know?
Yeah. Okay, let me get my mage hand out.
Yeah, for you, Onaker.
Give me my... Oh, it did spawn. Okay. Don't talk to me. Ugh. Alright, so I'll make the sleight of hand. Ugh. Alright.
I pulled up the sheet for the fucking Mage Hand. Holy shit. You ever looked at that?
What? No.
100 strength, 100 dex, 100 con, 100 int, 100 whiz, 100 con. I'm like, holy shit.
God hand.
It's got 1000 AC and plus 45 initiative. And 1000 HP.
I have a question that I need to ask. Can Valen cast guidance on me now?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so... Alright. I'm rolling. Do I need the guidance?
Probably.
It
I
doesn't
rolled
do
a 17.
anything, but I'm like, you can do this!
So I got a 19.
You bring your hand down and like you're playing a crane game. You, with attempted surgical precision, like come in and everybody's sort of sweating and like leaning over as Onaker slowly slides this thing out of the chitinous carapace in this guy's forehead, and you're able to like pull it out, and like as you finish pulling it out of this guy's head, there's like these Icarus purple tentacles that like slide out behind it like it's a little octopus creature and like flail all over the place before like they almost react to the air and quickly retract into the crystal. And as you like turn the crystal over in your mage hand looking at it, it looks like a normal crystal on all sides. Like you can't see where those tentacles came from at all. It's a solid crystal.
I think it's time this thing gets destroyed.
Agreed.
I'm going to put it onto a flat surface, and I'd honestly say whoever has the bluntest weapon, please smash this crystal. As I look to my gentle but simple bird friend.
He will squawk about having tried to break them before, but he will try at your behest.
It is Starchild. Radiant damage. I don't know if Starchild is radiant, I was just assuming.
assumed correct.
Nice.
His weapon, or their weapon, clangs off of the crystal, and there's like a spark, as like a little bit like chips off of it.
Did I miss anything?
The crystal has been removed from the caterpillar's head. Graveheart made an attempt to break it, and like upon Starchild hitting the crystal, there was a bright flashing spark, and a teeny tiny bit chipped off. I need to use the restroom real quick. I'll be like just a minute, if you guys want to like maybe discuss options.
All right, so who's gonna eat the crystal?
Wait, you're not serious, are you?
Not at all. No, we're not gonna eat this crystal. That would be the worst decision. That would lead to the worst timeline.
I heard Rose
Probably
yell rock candy.
Rock candy. Yeah, I don't know how to destroy these things or dispose of them.
Let's see, what do I have? I have banishment! But that means it's making it someone else's problem.
That's true. And I'm not sure how, like, that seems like, I don't know why, but banishment seems like a lot for a crystal. Like, maybe for the factory of crystal that's in the tower nearby that we now have to deal with. If that's, like, we need to figure out how to get rid of, I don't know if the crystals have ever been destroyed.
Anything else? Stand around just thinking for a bit and like, okay, I think I might have an idea. And she like moves over here, sits down, cross-legged.
I'm back.
Belinda decided to sit cross-legged, and she is going to cast divination to ask her god how to destroy what's the safest way to destroy the crystal.
Alright. Go ahead and throw divination up in chat for me. You reach out, and Titan will say it took the combining powers of Gnome and Arin to destroy these crystals. We've sought this. We can give you some access to this ability, channeling through us, but it will require resonance. Perhaps your friend that uses instruments might be able to make use of it.
And how is Valin conveying this information back to her friends?
So, like in the keep, like you ask the question out loud, and then like your eyes close and then open, and they're like glowing like yellow, and everybody hears that response in Titan's voice. So basically there's an offer on the table to give Onakur the ability to break this gem.
Be assistant Onakur?
The Titan is offering you the ability to like gain the power to break these crystals.
Whatever I can do to help.
Still eyes glowing, Valin stands up, walks over to Onakur, and like puts a hand on his shoulder, and like all of a sudden like arcane sigils are flashing across your fucking vision, and like you kind of like seize standing up a little bit as like this power flows into you, and you gain access to a daily spell that allows you to use an instrument to make a resonating noise that can shatter a kyphonic crystal.
Is there a limit to the size, or would I be able to use that ability on the big crystal in the tower?
You know that you could probably take like a middling sized one, but the amount in the tower would probably be too much for you to do in a day. You imagine that if you spent like a week here whacking away at this crystal with your spell every day, you might be able to take care of it, but in a single day, the spell is not going to be enough. But the spell is strong enough that you would probably be able to like take care of one that would probably be about up to your chest, in height. Probably like a 5 foot by 5 foot space of crystal.
Okay. Alright then. Well, I'm gonna have the magic hand hold on to the crystal and just keep following, and I'm going to at least try and destroy as much of it as I can. I think I'm gonna use that resonance to deal as much damage as I can. We're going to, at the very least, stop these caterpillars from delivering this stuff. So, as long as we can try and do that, This power is more than enough to help with that.
Alright, so you're gonna take this crystal that you're carrying over to the big pile of crystals?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you step out of the tent, and the clouds begin to part, and like the sun starts shining through again, you look back up to the northwest, where the keep is, with all the crystals in it, that had a line of caterpillars coming in out of it before, and like going up the chain. And as you like scan, that line of caterpillars is all gone, but that you can see the tail end of like the trail of caterpillars like working its way up the chain in the distance, as they've all sort of like heard what was happening through the hive mind and retreated their asses out of there.
Well, that's at least good to see. I'm just worried what those crystals that they've already taken up there are doing.
But yeah, assumably, you all make your way over to the keep. There's no door in the entrance. You can tell that, like, because there's hinges in the, like, wall, that there used to be, like, a, like, big wooden door, probably double door, that, like, was the entryway to this keep. And stepping through the threshold, like, that smell of, like, I don't know if you've ever been around a lot of, like, mealworms or whatever before, but, like, that sort of smell, like, fills this space. And there's just this, like, heap of, like, purple crystals that lean against the wall. There's, these, like, gloved claw things that was likely how they were breaking down the crystals to carry. It somehow has the ability to like cut through the crystal without damaging it.
I get that. Yeah, it's like you just pretty much you cut it in half. It's still two parts of the crystal. They're still the same. Okay.
Yeah, like it can crack it down into smaller pieces for them to carry. There's like crates against one wall filled with broken down pieces of the crystal, and like all over the floor there's just shedded carapace from like all of these bugs. You looking up, there's like some cocoons in the rafters. But yeah, as you're sort of scoping things out, the rain begins to stop. What would you like to do in here?
I'm gonna kind of like I'm gonna take the gloves, the crystal cutting gloves. That's going to be useful, even if it doesn't destroy the crystals. Being able to make them smaller and more manageable is definitely a big ups. But after looking at the gloves, I'd say I'm gonna kind of collect up the crystals in a put that one crystal into one of the crates, the one that I was carrying, just put it into one of the crates, and then I guess would like one of the crates kind of be like about what I could destroy with the resonance, or is the crate smaller than chest height?
Yeah, the one of those crates is probably about what you'd be able to destroy.
Okay, then I'm going to put the crystal that I was carrying into that crate, and then I'm going to cast this new spell, and assuming since it involves resonance and frequency, I would assume that like it would be me plucking a string on my harp, but then dragging my nail across until I hit a high note, and the frequency and pitch of me reaching that high note is what causes the crystals to shatter.
I sort of pictured it like if you were doing it on a string instrument, you're probably like plucking the string on a really high note, like really fast, trying to get it to like vibrate at the correct frequency. So like Onaker like channels magical energy into his pick as he begins to do this, and like just nails on the chalkboard level sound, opera singer like way too high. Everybody sort of like winces and covers their ears as the kyphonic crystals in the crate begin to like glow with this eerie purple hue, brighter and brighter and brighter, as if like the power in them is like building, and then just like glass shattering sound, and just like you saw before with like Onaker shaking the dust off of his hand, the entire like crate of crystals turns into a poof of this purple dust that like you can watch turn gray in the light of the sun like beaming through it, and it sort of like dissipates and then falls like dust on the ground.
Also, I also want to put it that as he's playing that like nails on a chalkboard, just in order to kind of like keep himself from like hating the sound, he'll start to do like, for all intents and purposes, like frog throat vocalizations, like just really deep. So he's going deep for himself to counteract the high pitch. So it's just the mixture of a deep and a high pitch.
I also sort of picture it as like this isn't your power that you're using, and you recognize this the first time you're using it. You are channeling Titan, kind of like being an avatar, but like it's like he's stepping it, like you've seen that gif of Grandpa Simpson walking in, putting the hat on, putting the hat back on the thing, and walking back out. That's kind of what this is like Titan comes into you for a second, channels this power through the frequency of your instrument, and like explodes these crystals for you.
Sick.
And now, on some level, you understand how Valin feels when, like, Titan steps in and, like, talks through her.
That's definitely it's a good gift. It's a pretty worthwhile investment.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to figure this out and on some level, or at least for us to be able to handle the situation. I'm sorry you got hurt the first time around trying to defuse it.
I will say, Valin, you have seen people touching these crystals before, and Graveheart has touched one of these crystals before, so they knew those crystals hurt, and I believe there was a conversation that before where Graveheart had said like those ones hurt. So you are all very much aware that if somebody touches these crystals and it's not the right person, they get hurt by it. But Valen has also seen Isgaroth touch these crystals, and they don't do nothing to Isgaroth. In fact, you've seen Isgaroth straight up absorb these crystals before.
No, I think an old friend of the group that I started off with, at least when you had briefly met them on occur, Yizgaroth, they never got hurt by these crystals. Instead, they would absorb them. Oh no.
Well, we've also seen that some people can control them and can kind of live with them copacetically, so maybe it's like a symbiotic relationship and it needs to get something, and if it wants something from the person, then it'll allow them to use it. I don't know.
I don't know. I hope we can run into Yizgaroth one day and maybe help them. 'Cause this is evil.
Well, at least they're not taking this stuff back up the chain anymore.
Are they? Have they stopped?
Yes, you had when you came out of the tent, there was no more caterpillars coming from the keep. They had made their way up the chain, and you caught the tail end, the last of the caterpillars marching up the chain all the way in the distance, out of sight.
Is there anything we can do to, I guess, put up a barrier to prevent them from returning down the chain?
If we leave, won't they just find another one to take his place?
Well, we could wake him up and see if he's, on the back in the hive mind side, or what's the deal with that, and then see what their hive mind is about.
Right then, if we're gonna do that, I'm gonna heal him. You guys, have your weapons drawn just in case.
What I have that I can do is you can heal them, and then I can charm them, or I can enthrall them.
Good idea. That sounds a lot better. Alright, if we're gonna do that, may you please step out of the way so I can,
Don't worry about the map, just roleplay. Theater of the mind.
Alright, I will do that. Well, then she, kneels down, to the creature, and she lightly heals him with Tier 1. Come on. Okay, maybe not that. There we go.
Alright. The caterpillar man comes to and begins looking at you all, sort of confused looking.
Do you remember anything? Ah. So English was crystal enhanced. Alright. That's great to know.
It, like, begins to examine itself, and it removes the, like, cloak, throws it on the bed. It, like, drops the staff it was carrying on the bed and, like, a ring. Like, looks at all of you, and it looks like it's trying to, like, make its way onto the bed so it can, like, get away from you all.
Huh.
Do we let it?
Would speak with animals allow me to speak with this thing?
It is speaking a language. I don't think animals would work, but if somebody has, like, comprehend languages or tongues, that would work.
Please, please, please have one. Yes! Alright, Valencia casts tongues to speak with him.
Alright, are you
Or you
casting?
can give me the ability to talk to him.
Oh, yeah, yeah!
That was what I was just going to ask, was if you cast it on yourself or if you're casting it on someone else.
I am casting it on Onaker.
Alright, so Valin pulls out, like, a little crystal spear and, like runs it across your temples real quick on a curve, and then all of a sudden, like, the raspy, chittering noises of this creature sound like words, and you find you're able to communicate with it.
What is, where are you going?
Hive, flee, order.
I am going to cast suggestion on it. And so you suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two and magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. The suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Asking a creature to stab itself, throw itself onto a spear, immolate itself, or do some other obviously harmful act ends the spell. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it pursues the course of action you described to the best of its ability. The suggested course of action can continue for the entire duration. If the suggested activity can be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends when the subject finishes what it was asked to do. You can also specifically specify conditions that will trigger a special activity during the duration. For example, you might suggest a knight give her war horse to the first beggar she meets. If the condition isn't met before the spell expires, the activity isn't performed. If you or any of your companions damage the target, the spell ends. I am going to say, stop where you are and tell me your mission, your primary mission.
Oh wait,
Oof.
I need to redo that. That was
Oh.
not the correct number because I'm rolling it off of his old sheet. I need to roll it off of the other ones. So yeah, you tell it to halt, and then what was it?
Explain your primary directive, like what he's being called. I know he just said retreat, but retreat for what, essentially?
Hive order, leave, retreat to tower. Must stay alive. Free minds.
Well, alright, that's a little bit of a clearer explanation, and being now that was it did what I asked it to do, and I'm honestly really not in the mood to kill something that we took sentience away from. So I'm gonna let this thing run. I'm really not gonna stop it.
Yeah, it slowly waddles off. These guys are not fast before they can fly. He moves at 20 feet per movement, so like he's every 6 seconds he makes it like 40 feet. Like he's hustling, but his hustle is not fast. And you watch it like make its way towards the chain. But on the bed there is a Order of the Eyes cloak that isn't like enchanted at all. It's just a black cloak with 4 arms, a hood with a purple eye on it. He has also left it's a cloak of protection. My bad. So if you do wear it, it gives you a +1 bonus to armor class, and saving throws. If you are tuned to it. It left a ring of protection, which is the same thing, but in a ring form, and a staff of defense. So you all can pick and choose what you all want out of those. Here, I'll throw them up in chat for you.
I know I have the lowest AC, so I would ask for at least one of the protection items. Honestly, for aesthetics, preferably the ring. But I will take the cloak in case, like, I don't know, say Mika needs extra AC, because it would probably be easier for me to tailor the coat to fit me than Mika. Or the cloak.
Does one of you have sewing supplies? Do I remember correctly?
I believe I may have. Because I remember doing up my gown, like my ball
I'm pretty
stuff.
sure you had sewing supplies, like a basic ass sewing kit that you picked up, and then Valin I know has knitting stuff. So I'm sure between the two of you, you could probably like rework like a part of this cloak to be like less Order of the Eyes and more basic black cloak of protection, or
Yeah.
I don't know what kind. I know Valin has some wool, I think. Alpaca, I think, that she could probably do something with, but I don't remember what color or whatever it was, so. But yeah, there's also a staff there, if anybody wanted to do anything with that.
To the staff.
Okay. So, we are going to give Mika the cloak, Anakir the ring, and Valin the staff.
Alrighty.
Alright. How can I add it on to my character sheet? Alright, thank you, hon. We all got something cool.
I think that's probably a good place to call it for the night on the session. So, good night to anyone in stream. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe and all that jazz. Michael Gelfie and 7th Midnight for music. Make sure to check them out. Give them props. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you.
Bye.
See you next time, stream.
Good night.